I'm not an architect, I'm a photographer. I don't feel that um, in an ideological sense that a city can ever be done. It's like an idea, it's like a piece of work. How can a piece of art ever be finished?
I think an interesting trend right now, or well, actually, kind of in the 80s and 90s in Berlin. Probably some other people know more about it than me. But where large apartment blocks changed function based on just negotiations between neighbours, and the hardware of the building never really changed. It was just timetables, and it's in architecture you call it contested space. So if somebody needs a space, it's used by them at a certain time. And then also there's a huge kind of mega apartment block. It was in Japan, Kowloon. It's another quite interesting topic because like it was the most densely populated block, and it was massive, like kilometers wide. But the way that worked as well was more the hardware or the technology by which it was built wasn't so interesting. It was more the way the spaces were organized, similar to what we have here. I think like in the future, the technology of how buildings are built will be less and less what architects, or like the profession of architecture will be less and less about technology and more about planning, like organization, rather than, I think that material science will take away a lot of architects' work.
There are many people going to cities nowadays, but which cities are they going to? Because according to the rank did last year, some cities are actually they are becoming smaller. You know, like I guess Milan is losing inhabitants. So there are cities getting bigger, which means that they are expanding and also maybe getting higher. And there are cities I don't know, like shrinking in a way. So there are two opposite problems. You need more houses, you need more space, and on the other side, there are empty spaces. And maybe this is a situation some cities in Europe are facing now. Like there are empty apartments. If you see the center of Lisbon, for example, it's full of beautiful houses and you see beautiful facades, and you know that these houses are empty, and the same in Porto, for example.
The Baixa of Lisbon, the downtown of Lisbon, is as well heritage of the UNESCO. So basically, all the Baixa is completely forbidden to work on. So we have many times the facades and nothing else, but we cannot really intervene because there is the UNESCO patrimony and heritage. So this is kind of a focus that is making a huge impact in the city as far as the buildings are falling down because people has no money to maintain the constructions.
The way the houses were designed were not for our lifestyle either. This is 18th century families with money. We are not those people anymore. So in order for us to live in those buildings, we need to adapt those buildings to our new lifestyle, to young couples with one kid, and that's it. That's the biggest family we have, or 2 kids, that's it. We can't live in houses with 5 bathrooms and stuff like that.
I think there's also something important that should be considered. That's nostalgia, because, in fact, nostalgia is what brings people to Lisbon, for example, and it means money, but it also means that it's moving something inside ourselves. Because if not, people wouldn't come here. So there's a thin line between common sense and feelings that it's not that easy to trespass. So.
Should take care of who we actually let our cities develop, because I have the feeling, I'm from Berlin, that people made it attractive by like making it the way they thought they should make it, because the politics just left them alone, and so the people started coloring the facades and building arts and street art took place. And nowadays I have the feeling, okay, it's an attractive city. It's like Milan, or Milan maybe because of different reasons, but who takes over now are not the people anymore, it's money. It's investors and politicians that decide how a city has to look like. And then the citizens and the people that actually have to use this place are not asked anymore. So there's actually one party that it's completely left out